Are we good? Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. The hell, huh? That too much? That's too much. That gets too much over here. Hey, what up, people? How you doing? My name is Tim Black. Welcome to the Tim Black Show, man. What's going on? Yo. Man, it's raining cats and dogs here, man. I wasn't even sure we're gonna be able to have a show tonight. So much rain going on, Johnson. Hold on, babe. Yeah, man, it is lightning and thundering. It's bad. But that's okay, because, you know, today is Thunder Thursday. I did get today right? Hey, Buck, is today Thunder Thursday? How many Thursdays can we have in 1 week? You know? All right. What up? First of all, give it up for my moderators, Black Mamba and the one and only Buck Bewley in the house. Thank you. You know? We do what we do. We do what we do. Man, okay. It's been like 100 degrees in D.C., humidity off the charts, and then we got the thunderstorms, man. And you know, hey, I can't complain, man, because don't nobody care, man. Like, you know, what you gonna do? It's nature. Suck it up. Suck it up. Little Danny Aiello, suck it up. Suck it up. Walk it off. Walk it off, yep. Susie, walk it off, Susie. Yo, man, it's Laudaway Live here on the Tim Black Wolfpack. I want to give it up for all the people that are members of the Tim Black Show, all my VIPs in the building. Thank you for joining and being a part of it. Man, I tell y'all, man, it's something else. Just having people that rock with you, you know what I'm saying? You know what's bad? I hate when I see, you know, man, this politics stuff is dangerous. You know what I mean? It'll turn friends against one another. You know what I'm saying? People start feeling a certain kind of way, and they don't agree with you on something, and it just makes it toxic. Are we blinking again? I don't even know if we still okay. Man, I'm trying to tell y'all, man, we got lightning. Look, if it go out, it ain't me. I want y'all to know it's not me. It's lightning and thunder. We just had a flicker. But it's bad, man. It's bad when the politics is so toxic, man, that people are just, you know, turning on one another, man. People don't want to rock with each other no more, man. And like when I start seeing that, man, it really bothers me, man, because you don't control none of this, and I don't control none of it. Why would you want to throw a friend under the bus or throw a friend away, somebody you've been rocking with for a couple years, over the current news cycle? It's like people take out their anxiety and emotion, you know, in the country on one another. I don't control what Trump do, dummy. You don't control what Biden does, dummy. Like, what are you talking about? So that's sad, man. I had to let somebody go today. I had to let somebody go. I'm like, you know what? I felt like Stringer Bell, man. I was like, look, well, it don't look like ain't nothing I could say. You already made your mind up. Get on with it then, mother. You know what I'm saying? Get on with it then. Leave. Come on, I'm going to do with you. You know what I'm saying? You can't yell at Trump, so you're yelling at me. You can't yell at your Democratic Party, so you're yelling at me. The worst thing about it, this guy was defending Jasmine Crockett. His whole anger started because he didn't like me criticizing Jasmine Crockett. I'm like, first of all, where you been? I've been criticizing her for like a year, dude. Where you been, man? You must be on some drinking You must be on some binges, some drunk binges, because I've been talking about her for a minute. That last video was tame. Where you been? Oh, goofy self. Man, I go out to everybody. You weren't saying that when I was going out to Tim Scott. Oh, come on, everybody. Come on. We got to all work together. We got to love our Daddy Trump. Oh, God. We got to love Daddy Trump. We got to love our Daddy Trump. Oh, we know it's wrong. It's wrong. He didn't say nothing. He didn't say that white dude was an old white dude too. He didn't say nothing when I was roasting, Tim Scott. Probably sat back eating popcorn. You get him, Tim. You get that jackass, that purple black, get that purple gum having. Get him, Tim. You say the things I can't say. Get it, Tim. But don't let me call Jasmine Crockett a corrupt loudmouth. You know what I'm saying? Oh, God. Oh, my God. He didn't say nothing when I was coming for Clyburn every 2 minutes. I'm the most progressive. I'm a progressive. I am progressive. And Joe Biden is my friend. And I love pharmaceutical money. I put the pharmaceutical money in my pocket. That's where I met my wife. Prostitute myself for pharmaceutical money. Yeah. Joe Biden, he's got a good chance of still winning the 2028 election. All he had to do, as I told him, all he had to do is get his head back in the game. Jim, it appears that he can't run again. He's almost 100 and had to drop out this time because he didn't know who his wife was. I don't want to hear that. Joe Biden is a good man, and if he want to run again in 2032, he should. He ain't had no problems with me roasting Jim Clyburn. Nah, but if I said something about Jasmine Crockett, he gonna come through my modem and attack me in my sleep. You don't sit your ass down somewhere. Oh, Democrat. Look, I'm the most upfront commentator on the internet. I come out here every day, 5 days a week, and I say, I am a Democratic Party hater. And then I get Democrats going, Tim Black, you need to stop going after the Democrats. I just told your ass what I got to do it in sign language. I don't know how to sign language. But I've been very clear and transparent. I don't think you can be any clearer. It don't get no clearer. You know, it's not like, I don't know any other commentators that come out and just be put it right there and say, look, Charlie Kirk doesn't come right out and say, I'm a white nationalist. He should, but he doesn't. He should just come out and say it. You know what I'm saying? Ben Shapiro doesn't come out and say, I'm a Zionist. But he should, because he is. I come right out, man, and I tell you, straight up, honestly, I say I'm a Democratic Party hate. And then I tell you why. I say, look, black people have been giving their votes to the Democratic Party 90 to 95% every election. And look where we at. If that ain't, I think that's it. Like I said everything I need to say right there. If you don't understand after I say that, that's either because you dumb, right? Or you hard of hearing. That's a perfectly good reason. I mean, what else? And I don't even owe you. I don't owe anybody more than that. I gave you my honesty. I've been honest with you. I've been upfront. Just Roland come out here and say he'll sell out. He should. Take $350,000 from Kamala and give her. Here, Kamala, I'm gonna throw the ball over the plate. Now, look, hold the bat in your hand. No, the other end. Turn it around. The part with the knob on it at the end that goes beneath your wrist. Look, I'm gonna count to 3 and I'm gonna throw it to you. 1, 2. You ready? 2.5. You ready? 3. She hit it. Oh, she's amazing. That was the Roland Martin Kamala Harris interview. And he got paid almost $500,000 for it. If he came out and said he's a Democratic shield, that would be being honest, but he won't. And everybody want to tag along with him now. You want to tag along with him. Get on the Black Star Network. Lord have mercy. Yeah, man. I ain't hating, man. I wish him well, man. I hope that things work out for him. Hope things work out for him. It's just a big game. You know, it is a big game. You know what I'm saying? It really is. You know, tonight's show, Thursday Thunder, AOC versus Trump, Democrats versus Republicans, New York City fallout. We're going to go hard in the paint tonight. And I know it's going to be a light night because it's Thursday and people, you know, they smoking weed and they drinking liquor and they over their girlfriend house, they over their mistress house or their other boyfriend house. I don't know what people doing. People doing stuff. So they ain't going to be here tonight. But tonight, they're going to miss a barn burner because I don't know, man. I'm feeling a certain kind of way tonight. You know, I'm feeling a little punchy. I didn't even want to put on, I was going to put on the tie. I was like, I ain't putting on no tie tonight. So I'm going to punch people in it, you know? I'm going to punch right in the stomach tonight, you know? It's going to be one of those nights. Tonight's show is brought to you by the Tim Black Legacy Mug. Go to timblackmug.com and get your legacy mug. It's politics for the people, not politics for the corporations, not politics for the nonprofits or the non-government organizations, not politics for the private organizations or private prisons. None of that. Not politics for Wall Street. Politics for the people. That's what we're doing here tonight. Get yours. Go to timblackmug.com while supplies last. Man. By the time I get to Phoenix, I'll be ready. If I didn't care. Did I shout out anybody? Can I shout out a few names? Give me 30 seconds of shout outs. Let me do 30 seconds of shout outs, man. I got to let my people know I feel them, man. What's up, Tim Black's Wolfpack? How y'all doing, man? What is going on with the Tim Black Wolfpack in the building, man? Who up in here? I said, who up in here tonight? We got Ebony and James Allen. Kira Clark is in the building. AT in the building. What up, AT? What up, Kira? What up, Tay? Ebony? What's going on? Black Rose is in the house. Thank you, Black. DC Precise is up in here. Yeah. Hassan. What's up, Hassan? How you doing, fam? You know what it is. I said, you know what it is, LJ. You know what it is. See, I done messed around a bit in the comment section. Seen a couple people that be sneak dissing me. Then they come back all nice and tell you, hey, Tim, how are you? How are you doing, mofo? I saw you. I saw what you were saying that time. Yeah, I was rolling through the comments. Buck said, Tim, don't read these comments. Get out of here, Tim. Get out of here, Tim. I don't want you to see this. Tim, come on, Tim. I don't want you to see this, Tim. It's so disrespectful. what they're saying about you, Tim. Get out of here, Tim. Buck's a good guy, man. Buck don't want me to get mad, man. He don't want me to get upset, man. He don't know my best shows are when I'm angry. Jorge Pinell, is that Jorge Pinell from Twitter? Is that Jorge Pinell to be on X? Is that Jorge Pinell? Nene, what's up, sis? What's cracking? Yeah, I get aggressive on Thursday, man. I'm not playing with nobody up in here. Tim, you're scaring the white folks. Calm down. Is everything okay? Your blood pressure's going to go up, sir. That's okay. I'm pre-diabetic. I've been pre-diabetic since I was 2. Anytime I go to the doctor, say, you know you're pre-diabetic, right? You do know you're pre-diabetic, right? You sure you're going to eat that Snickers? Give me that Snickers. You're pre-diabetic. Man, I'll be having a good time up here. You know what I did wrong, though, guys? I'm going to tell you I got some news, but hold on. I got some news stories. What I did wrong is I did that damn Hodge Twins video. And that got like, I don't know, about 5,000 new people or 3,000, I don't know. And now YouTube sending all them my content. They like this. I don't care about this, Tim Black. Yeah, man, you mess around, you do something viral, and then it ruins it. Because the people that follow YouTube's like, that's your new audience. And they're like, I don't care about no damn war. I don't care about no black policies. Roast somebody. Talk about Charleston White's mother. You ain't here but Fat Joe. Talk about Fat Joe. Like, man, I'm a well-rounded person. I like talking about different things, but I gotta talk politics, man. Oh no, I don't do no politics, Tim. I'll tell you right now. So, I mean, I'm suffering now, man. I'm punished. I'm punished right now, man. You know, only like 1/10 of my audience even comes to my live shows. Like 1/10. It's horrible, man. Look, man, tell people about the Tim Black Show, man. I'm trying to figure out why we don't have 5,000 people watching this show. Well, Tim, that's because it sucks. That ain't that bad, is it? For real? For real? Nah, it don't suck. For real? All right. Well, we're going to do our best to hit them in the head tonight, man. We're going to make other channels jealous tonight because they ain't going to have this. Hit the like button for the algorithm. Let the algorithm know that the Tim Black Show is live on a Thursday night, coming to you live and direct from the DMV here in Waldorf, Maryland. Tim Black, just outside of DC, baby. Here we are, live. Let's get into it, man. I got some content, man. We're gonna talk about AOC versus Trump and Democrats versus Republicans, New York City's fallout from the election and a whole bunch of stuff. But first, I gotta start with this, Johnson. Because that's the kind of show we doing. Let me get over here. Make sure I'm right over here, man. Am I okay over here?
Next on deck with Tim Black.
So this is a biblical moment. You know, when Jesus was on the cross, he said, God, forgive them, for they know not what they do. All these Negroes who are asking me to step down, God, forgive them.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Yeah, man, I saw this clip, man. I said, man, no wonder they picking Zoran. This guy's horrible, man. He compared himself to Jesus. Jesus wasn't no lying-ass cop. Yeah, Goofy. Man, this guy sat up there, compared himself to Jesus. They know not what they do. Now they know what they do. They know what they're doing. They're getting your ass up out the paint. Isaiah. Up out the paint. Phony ass, buster ass. Man, this guy, man. I knew he was going to fail when I saw him running. I knew he was going to fail when he was running, man. I knew it. I said, they can't see through him. When I was coming up, man, New York was like, I mean, hey, good music in New York. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm from Prince George's County, Maryland, you know? So people think that's Baltimore. It's not. It's not. We used to go to Baltimore, though. But then we'd also go to New York, you know? Then we also go down south, man. Being in this part of Maryland is a beautiful thing, man, because you can get to anywhere in an hour, you know? Less than an hour. 10 minutes from D.C., 40 minutes from Baltimore, 35 minutes from Baltimore, you know what I'm saying? You go down south, hit 95 south. You can go up into Petersburg and the area, you know what I'm saying? But New York, man, it's 2 hours, 2.5 hours to New York, man. And I'm disappointed, man. I saw Eric Adams, man, when he was running, and I was like, oh, that's swag. Yeah, New York need to get its swag back. I'm like, New York need to get these bums off the streets. What they need to do, put people in houses, motherfucker. You get our swag back. Get our swag back. Oh, you old knockoff Obama. I'm like, y'all don't see him as phony? Y'all don't see that? How he say he vegan one week, the other week he say he love pork chops. What's going on? Said he was a triple Muslim one week, the next week he Jewish. What is going on? What's really going on, man? Oh, Lord. I don't know, man. New York, you get what you pay for, man. Goodness gracious. New York act like everybody want to live in New York. Not anymore. Not anymore. People don't want to live in New York or LA. People in Florida like, whew. You know you're doing bad when people in Florida like, I'll just stay here in Florida. Florida's better than that. Yeah. You know that's bad, man. Man, so anyway, Mayor Eric Adams, one of horrible mayors, man. Horrible mayors. He gonna run and be independent. He gonna get waxed. hey, Tay. Eric Adams gonna get his ass whipped. He shouldn't even run as an independent, man. He gonna get beat so bad. Look, this is what I know. This general election for the New York City mayor, Mayor Eric Adams, if he runs as an independent, the number's gonna be so bad, somebody gonna be like this. Oh my God. Oh shit. Hello? Yeah, can I talk to CPS? Yeah, man, I'd like to report child abuse. Yeah, child abuse, man. Jesus Christ. Stop hitting it with the stick. Yeah, I gotta report child abuse. Yeah, former Mayor Eric Adams is getting his ass kicked by that Persian. Zorn. Yeah, Zorn's kicking his ass. Yeah, man, he is beating him. Lord have mercy. That Rodney King. Oh, the kids are watching. This is bad, man. Don't they know kids is watching these results come back? They don't need to see this. They can't beat him don't beat him like that. Good thing is his mother still here to see this. I hope she's not here to see this. Oh, this is bad. This is an NC-17 rating right here. It's a snuff film we watching. These results are like a snuff film. Oh, I hate to see the exit pose. Oh, God. Someone took the exit pose and beat Eric Adams in the head with it. Hey, look, all I'm saying is, man, Eric Adams, he needs to take sometimes dead is better. Again, like Herman Monster from Pet Sematary, when the guy brought back his son, he dug his son up and put him in the Pet Sematary. He came back, he was like this, And Monster from Henry Monster, whatever his name, Monster from the Monsters, whatever his name, you know what I'm talking about? He was like, sometimes dead is better. Well, you know what, Eric Adams? Sometimes losing is better the first time. Because if your ass run as an independent, you're going to get destroyed. Walk out with some dignity. You know what I'm saying? Walk out like Gus, like Guzman in Breaking Bad when he had face blown off. Y'all in trouble tonight. Look, man, marry Eric Adams. If Mayor Eric Adams runs as an independent for the New York City mayor position, at the end, when they're announcing the numbers come in, he gonna look like Guzman when he got blown up. When the dude was hitting the bell, ding, 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 ding. Remember Breaking Bad? The old folks home in the chair, ding, 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 ding. Guzman was like, ah! And boom, it blew him. Half his face was gone. He didn't know it. He was in shock. He still was putting on his tie and shit. Was like, because he was smooth with it, you know? He was smooth, but he had half a face. And then his face slid off his body like this. His face just slid off his body like this. That's going to be Mayor Eric Adams. But hey, you know, do what you got to do, Mayor Eric Adams, because I like entertainment, and it was going to be entertaining to see you get destroyed. Because you are garbage. You are garbage. That Jamaican, the African girl, Illuminati, the lawyer, Illuminati, whatever her name is, Illuminati. I don't know why people think that's cool. Illuminati, I don't know. From the left-wing mafia. Like, that's some goofy shit, man. That's why I said I couldn't rock with these people, man. These people corny, man. The Illuminati, the leftist mafia. Come on, everyone. Let's let boys play girl sports. The leftist mafia. Come on, everyone. Let's burn the flag and not fight for reparations. Come on. Make my day. You guys ready for some content now? Y'all warmed up? I know I'm warmed up, man. Boy, I just ain't somebody you want to mess with. That's all it is. Because I'm going to say it. Whatever I'm thinking, look, here's the rules. You think it, I say it. You think it, I say it. Now, some of y'all watching like, I wasn't thinking all that, Tim. About to get canceled. Keep going. I mean, it's funny, but you about to get canceled. How am I gonna get canceled when I'm not getting aired? Difference doesn't make. It's all love, fam. It's all love. Don't forget, man, I'm on a new network called We the Free TV. WeTheFreeTV.com or WeTheFreeTV.com. That's Shamichael Singleton as they call on that site. I'm on that site. If you like guns, go check it out. WFT.TV. Sign up. It's only like $1 for politics. If you want the whole package, it's like $10 or $8. Get the whole package. Get the whole package. I put my content over there too, man. I'm over there. Devoid Dawkins is over there. Shamichael Singleton's over there. Smite Plaskett's over there, joint. Dropping bombs on the Democrats. It's a fun time, man. And they got like 20 like gun experts, you know what I'm saying, with all types of reality show, highly polished, dope content. So I check it out, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, go over there and check it out, man. Yeah. We the Free TV, WeTheFree.com, and WTF.TV. WTF.TV. Okay, let's go. Let's keep it going, guys. Now we get to the nuts and bolts of it all. Bam, let's hit them. Let's get them. I had to get warmed up. I got warmed up on Mayor Eric Adams. See what we got for him.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
Congresswoman Monica McIver of New Jersey joins us now.
Congresswoman, welcome. It's good to see you again. So I'm just going to cut straight to it because all the rest of this noise is just noise. It's just crazy what they're saying out here and why you find yourself in the situation you're in. There were two other members of Congress with you. They were lawmakers, rather. They were not charged. You were targeted. Your charge is to make a point, to send a signal, to say something. And I think we just need to be honest about that, because when you look at the video, to Simone's point, you weren't hitting anybody. You weren't smacking any law enforcement side the head. You weren't cussing anybody out. You were holding on as you were being tussled and pushed about by the law enforcement. So why do you think you were targeted here?
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Michael Steele, you are a big liar. You're a big, sassy liar. That's what you are. That's what you are, Michael Steele. We covered that on this channel. We covered the actual footage, and we're going to show a little bit later. I got it in this clip later. But I didn't listen to the entire clip to know that you just bold-faced lied in the beginning, man. I'm going to run the clip where it's obvious that you are not telling the truth. You dig? I'm gonna be brutal tonight. Y'all know this. I'm gonna be brutal tonight for y'all using black people. You ain't the only black person in the country. So when you use blackness and you say, they doing this to me because I'm black, you gotta be standing on business when you do that. Because you don't get to dilute the issues that black people got going on in this country. We got some valid complaints. But complaining about her getting a warrant for protesting and putting her hands on people, ICE officials with ICE jackets on. She pushing cops. We've already showed it on this channel before. We'll show it again tonight to disprove Michael and to shame her. But I'm trying to tell y'all, man, we're not gonna pull no punches, man. We're gonna be brutally honest with these fools tonight. You don't get to use black people suffering to pad your damn pockets and help your stupid party. You goofy. Mr. Potato Head, get it right. We gotta stop being hard on these people, man. These people don't mean us any good at all.
I mean, first of all, it's good to see each and every one of you. Always great to be on here with you all. It's plain and simple. Donald Trump said when they asked him about my situation that the days of being woke are over. And what they mean by that is being black, number one. It's an attack on blackness.
The days of being black are over. What are you even talking about? That don't even make sense. The days of being black are not over. Because your black ass is sitting here and so is mine. What are you talking about? The days of being black are over. Now the days of your BS politics where you just go, I'm complaining about shit without having any valid evidence of it. Yeah, that should have never existed. You should have never been able to complain about things without being able to prove that there's an injury. That should have never been able to happen. The days of being black are over.
Black, number one, it's an attack on blackness. It's an attack on women. The segment before with both of my colleagues, we're talking about the attacks on women each and every day.
Women get attacked, huh? That's politics. It ain't because Kamala sucked, huh? It's because it's an attack on women. Huh? She got to become vice president, a senator, an attorney general, and she's mediocre at best. She ain't the best politician in the country. She got to do that anyway. And still, what do we get for it? It's an attack on women. Kamala Harris is not an amazing politician. Can people admit that? But look how far she got to get. She was a heartbeat away from the presidency. A heartbeat. And still they complain. You know, there are a lot of great players in the NBA who don't get trophies. Charles Barkley was a dominant player in the NBA. But guess what? He did not get a championship ring. No, he didn't. Was Kamala Harris as effective as Charles Barkley as a senator? No. No, she wasn't. Just because you want to be president doesn't mean you get to be president. My mom used to look at me, oh, Timmy, you could be president. I'd be like, I just like to be able to have a car one day because I like to get out of this house. How about we do that? So you could be the president. Y'all got any money for school? No, we don't, but you can still be president. I'm saying, Mom, it's true, Mom, it's true, baby. I love you. I love you, baby. Let's keep going, man. This is some foolishness we got to deal with tonight. We're going to be calling it out. Don't be afraid to stand up for your rights. Hit us up. Hit the like button. Hit the like button now. Hashtag Tim Black Show. Hashtag Tim Black Show, wherever you at.
Through this administration, and that's just the point blank period of this administration. We know that they are cruel. We know that everything that they do is based in cruelty, and I am just the next example of that, of them showing how cruel they can.
Every time she talks, she says nothing. She is yet another big fucking loser. Okay? That's what she is, man. She's a lame, ungifted, untalented, bad speaker, no charisma. Every time I've heard her talk, I just met this woman. I don't know her. But every time I've heard her talk, folks, she says the same talking points. It's cruel. I'm black. I got a uterus. I sit down and pee. He attacked me. My name is this. He went after the people with the M's. I'm black. I got breasts. I have a cycle. He came after me. I'm black. He cruel. He evil. He cruel. He orange. I'm black. Yeah. I like skirts and heels. He high heels. I'm black. I might have to go through menopause soon. I'm black. How about be effective? How about being able to put words together that make sense? How about not using the same old time talking points? How about knowing what Michael Steele was going to ask you about because don't nobody interview you about anything else? How about having something prepared where you can sound like you know something? You know, like you have some data that you could rattle off. You know, data like, you know, folks, did you know that 19%, did you know that white women benefit the most from DEI? Yeah, white women have made a lot of gains during the implementation of DEI. 19% of growth in management positions for white women under DEI. Black men saw no such growth under DEI. Hence, I'm not really concerned about DEI going away because black people did not benefit. Okay? See how that sounds? It sounds good because it's based in facts. I have data. You never talk with data, Miss McIver. Ever. You have no stats. You have no data. You just talk about being a black woman all the time and how hard it is. Meanwhile, you got a job where it don't seem like you do a whole hell of a lot. Black people have been voting for the Democrats and voting for the Democrats Last stat, since 1950, black Americans in 1950, 40% of black Americans own their own homes. In 2020, guess what? 40% of black Americans own their own homes. If black Americans been voting for the Democrats 90 to 95% of the time at every election, like they have a gun to our heads, shouldn't we be able to move at least 5, 10, 15, 20 points in that at some point in home ownership, considering that's how most Americans build wealth for their families, intergenerational wealth? Guess what? Latino Americans who just got to this country since 1950 are now 50% of them own their own homes. So they have passed black Americans. So when I say I got issues with the Democratic Party, it's not just because I hate the color blue. Because I don't hate the color blue. It's because I hate their politics. It's full of bullshit, like Miss McIver here. But see how that sounds? See how I had data to back up what I'm saying? Miss McIver, go meet Donna Brazile or sit down and talk to Tesla Figaro. Get somebody to teach you some talking points so you have something to say out your mouth that's worthy of you being on the air. Besides, you got a uterus and you black. Therefore, he came after me.
And they're trying to make a point, like you said, Michael, to see how far they can go with this, you know, how much they can humiliate me, how much they can try to embarrass me and sick attacks on me. And that is what is happening right now. And if they can get away with doing it, to me, then they feel like it's open season on any Democrat or anyone for that matter who disagrees with them or criticizes them or holds them accountable.
So, Congresswoman, there is the chilling effect. There is the message that it sends. And then I want to acknowledge that there's also just the practical reality of what.
Hold on a second, dog. She got her charges. She struck a cop, right? You're not being charged with being black. You're not being charged with being a woman. You're not being charged with we singling you out. You're being charged because you caught on film putting your hands on an ICE official and trying to interfere with the arrest and detainment of Ras Baraka. His charges got dropped. And I don't know if you noticed or not, Miss McIver, but he is also black. I don't know if you noticed that. He is black. His charges got dropped. Because guess what? He didn't put hands on the ICE officials. He quietly went on and went to jail and got right out without committing assault and battery. But not you. You had on your bright red Kool-Aid blazer that you got online from the TikTok shop so you could stand out and everybody would see your ass and you wouldn't put hands on people. Man, I got the footage.
This means for you. How much time and how much money is this costing you?
All right, guys, here goes Miss McIver. For those people who saw this before, please bear with us as we roll through this again for those who think Tim Black is just beating up on a black woman. There he go again, going after this sister. She a good woman. You don't even know her. You don't know her. So what's her name? What's her name? Oh, you see it's black. You say, we got to ride with that. No, we don't. She's a liar. You having liars just because they black, you gonna ride, you gonna support a liar who's using your color, your ancestors' blood and sweat to cover up for her lies. Watch her. Watch her. She not even in the part. Damn it. She ain't even the one was getting arrested. Look at her way over here. She gonna fight through the crowd and put hands on people. Here we go. Let's watch.
I'm not letting you. You cannot push. You cannot push. You
See what she doing? Look, there it is right there. You see what she's doing? She was shoving the officer in the back. Here it goes. Look. Look. See this? She's trying to act like people are pushing her into the officers. But she was being aggressive, man. You can't do that shit. See, that's her pushing him. You can't push ICE officials. Everybody there should have got locked up, man. They lock us up for less. Only reason why they ain't all locked up because they was politicians, man. Anybody else, everybody with them got locked up. I've seen people get locked up just for talking smack. Say one more thing, I'm gonna lock you up. One more thing, I'm gonna tase you. One more thing. They didn't do her like that. And she's complaining the whole time. Fam. So she's involved in a skirmish where Ras Baraka, the mayor of Newark, ends up being arrested. They were trying to stop, her and her friends were trying to stop the mayor of Newark, Ras Baraka, from being arrested. They were interfering with that arrest. That's what they were doing. She wasn't the only one doing it, but that's what was going on. I have other footage that shows us a little bit clearer, her pushing one of the officers in the back. Couldn't see it that good from this angle, but you could see she was involved in the tussling. Why did she get singled out? I don't know, because she had on a red jacket, maybe. Maybe that's why. Maybe because she's got on a big bullseye. Maybe that's why they picked you out. But it doesn't matter. You know what you did. You know you was in the middle. You know you was pushing and shoving. Who were you pushing and shoving? Cops. They didn't baton you. They didn't pepper spray you. They didn't light you up and make you ride the white lightning. They didn't make her ride the white lightning. So she is there because she is protesting, right? Because she's upset about the detention centers. Because, oh no, people are being separated from their families. Like all the Americans who have warrants get separated from their families when they get caught. But oh no, these people can't be separated from their families as if all other Americans don't want to be home with their families. And so now we got to hear her complain and pretend that that's not her we saw, being very aggressive in the middle of the whole damn thing. She didn't have to be. She chose to do it. And my thing is this, man, when you choose to do something, if there's a penalty for it, take the penalty and keep it moving. They was like, look, if you just admit you did it, well, let it go. She's like, no, I didn't do it. We got you on film giving a forearm shove to ICE. No, you're doing it because I'm a black woman. I'm not going to say I did it. It's on film. You are pushing and shoving cops. There have been black men who have been shot for less. You heard? Hell, there are black women who have been shot for less. This privileged prima donna was shoving cops and she ain't getting handcuffed, body slammed, tased, nothing. And we got to hear about her for a month. She's been on TV 10 times, and every time she doesn't say anything that impressed me at all. That's a lot of bites at the apple. Kool-Aid.
You?
Well, first of all, it's taken up a lot of my time, but I am still 150% dedicated to the people that I represent. And it's
You do realize percentage only go to 100, right? Okay.
10th congressional district in New Jersey, and I don't want this to get ahead of that. And so that is why yesterday when I had to run back to New Jersey, go to court, plead not guilty, I literally ran out of the courtroom, said a couple of words, and had to hop on a flight back to D.C. to vote because, once again, my job comes first, and I don't want this to, in any way possible, to get in the way of that, of the work that I need to do for the people of the 10th.
So why were you out there? Why were you in the middle of all that skirmish? Why were you doing that instead of, back working in New Jersey for the people that elected you? Why were you doing this instead of fighting for the people that elected you? Why were you fighting for Raz Baraka not to be, put in jail for 2 hours, processed and released? Why were you pretending like he was going to Guantanamo or Gitmo? What was all the gaslighting about? Since you got so much you got to do for your people, for your constituents. You're so dedicated, 150%.
That's one thing, but
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Full of shit.
It's pathetic when you have somebody that you don't even know, that you have no reason to know her. I have no reason to know her at all. But the Democratic Party wants to make her a star. For what reason? No reason other than she's willing to come out here and be a jackass. She didn't do anything that's helping anybody at all except herself. The Democratic Party, they're really good at theatrics, making a big to-do about nothing. And that's what this was, a big nothing burger. Should she go to jail forever? No, she shouldn't. But is it a big waste of time and a waste of taxpayer money for her not just to say, yeah, I lost my head, I was upset. I apologize to the officer, can we move on with life? They'd have been like, okay, fine. But no, she wants to make it a big issue and go on program after program. And unfortunately, there was a very small contingent of Black Americans who would say, she right. They only did that because she Black. Yeah, as if there were other Black people there that did not get summoned or cited or charged or indicted. She ain't the only Black person there, man. The reason why she got indicted is because she was the one that got on film wearing a red jacket doing like this to ICE officers. That's what she was doing. Maybe you don't do this to ICE officers in the back. Maybe you don't do that. And then this doesn't happen, and I don't got to know your name, but see, then you don't get to go on MSNBC. Then you don't get to go on CNN and complain. Man, I'm trying to tell y'all, man, this Jasmine Crockett thing has gotten out of hand, man. Everybody want to be Jasmine Crockett. Before that, everybody wanted to be AOC. Everybody want to be Jasmine Crockett. We almost done with this one, man. Come on now.
It is time consuming. And then it's also very expensive, right? No one's, taking up this case for free. I have to pay for attorneys. And so you have to, raise funding and get support to be able to fight them, because at the end of the day, these charges are serious. They're saying
raise funding. Yeah. Yeah. We need to go look at her GoFundMe, y'all. We need to watch how much money she raises on her GoFundMe for this racial attack. It's racist, misogynistic attack on Black womanhood. They didn't come get her out of bed like she Breonna Taylor, y'all. That's all I'm saying. She was there putting hands on people. It ain't the same thing. This ain't a Tatiana Jefferson. You know, I ride for sisters who deserve it. Sandra Bland was minding her own damn business in her car. This woman was at a place she didn't need to be doing shit she wasn't needing to be doing. Totally different.
That I can face 16 to 17 years in prison, and it's worrisome at the same time, right? I'm very courageous, and I'm very, not going to back down, and I'm going to continue to do my job and hold this administration.
She courageous.
Accountable, but at the same time, I'm thinking about my 9-year-old. I'm thinking about my husband. I'm thinking about my mom, who's worried to death about what is happening and what this administration is doing to me. This is my first time in a situation like this, and so we're taking it really serious. And so,
why come you just couldn't sit your ass down? Why come they just couldn't do that? You in New Jersey, you know damn well you need to be wearing that red jacket and no protests. In the middle of the crowd pushing people. It's all on film, man. It's just all on film. It's just stupid. It's a waste of time. I'm almost done. We
want to make sure we have a great legal team. We have all of the resources and tools that we need to fight this, because at the end of the day, these are real charges. This is a real situation.
Congresswoman, there are a lot of people out there, myself included, that knows what it feels like to be in a position of power and in places of power where your presence is treated like a provocation, a provoke, that when you speak up to be labeled as a problem. And the president is targeting you in a way that I feel as though should be unacceptable. He's targeting you in the same way that he targeted Shay Moss and Ruby Freeman, the black women who are election workers, and that he called out their names and they've had to move, they have security. In the same way that he's targeted Fani Willis, in the same way that he has turned his ire of the White House onto elected officials or even citizens that he does not like and that he thinks he can poke and prod. And the people I all just named are black women. I say all this to say, has Democratic leadership gone to the administration to tell them to stop? Who has picked up the phone and called Alina Habba or called the folks that they know in the Justice Department, called the folks at the White House, called Susie Wiles and told them to back off?
Woo! Well, I'm not sure who in the administration and leadership has done that, but I know that, when this whole situation first happened, Republicans started putting in resolutions to have all three of us, both Rob Menendez and Bonnie Watson Coleman, kicked off our committees. There was a resolution put on the floor to censure me. And I want to say that the leader, Hakeem Jeffries, and many folks spoke up on our behalf and basically told them, look, this is unacceptable. And I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for all the support that I've gotten from all of my colleagues up until this point, standing with me and fighting back, against this administration, and even picking up, and going to do unannounced oversight visits and really kind of showing that this is not just a LaMonica McIver situation. This isn't just the New Jersey's 10th or Delaney Hall matter. This is stuff that is happening in these detention centers all over this country. And honestly, they have problems, they have issues, and that we have to continue to, exercise the number one tool we have, which is to hold them accountable and conduct oversight. And so I'm thankful for them for that support, but I can't really speak to if anyone has reached out to the DOJ office or called Habba, herself and, spoke to them about this.
Well, let me just say, I think that I'm just going to make a statement. If Democratic leadership has not picked up the phone to call Alina Habba and tell them to drop these bogus charges against a sitting member of Congress doing their job as oversight, they are failing their membership.
Next on deck with Tim.
The Democrats deserve to lose 7 days a week, twice on Sundays. I can't speak for all black people, and I never say I do. But I do speak for a certain amount of black people that are tired of the bullshit. They're tired of this. They're tired of the phony theatrics, the performative garbage of the Democratic Party. They're tired of the show and pony show they put on where they pretend like they're doing something when they ain't doing nothing except serving their own interests. We all know why she did all that. Because she wanted to be on TV. Showing her ass. That's why she did it, man. It's so obvious. And you know what? Normally I'd be like, so what? Cool. You want to do a Charleston White and play a character? Fine. Have at it, man. Make your money. But I get tired of them. It's because I'm black. It's because I'm a black woman. No. There's a lot of black women did not get charged that day. A lot of black women was home minding their business. A lot of black women was at their job, doing their job. Your job was not to be there interfering with cops. That's not what your job is. Nobody elected you to go do that shit. That's what you chose to do. We're tired of it, man. Democrats, we're tired of you. Vote them all out. Get out of here. Get rid of them. All right, let's keep it moving, guys. What's next? I don't even know what's next, but there's something here. I got something. Long-ass segment.
Black.
The ceasefire between Israel and Iran appears to be holding for now, while President Trump spends his night in the Netherlands for the NATO summit just hours after announcing that deal. But he spent his morning taking shots at Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez as calls for his impeachment over striking Iran grow louder over on Capitol Hill. Today, Trump dared AOC and her Democratic friends to impeach him again, going full-on Clint Eastwood, saying, "Make my day." AOC hit back, accusing the president of illegally bombing Iran and dragging the U.S. into war. As we were discussing in the break, this idea that the president never goes to Congress, frankly, to authorize strikes or authorize war has spanned. Right. Virtually no precedent. Right. But let me just play, actually. This is House Speaker Mike Johnson.
Hey! I want y'all to know something, man. In this segment, what's going to be different than other segments that feature Ana Navarro, she's going to be a rock star in this one. Yeah. Like, Ana Navarro's like, you know what? I need to kind of not be an idiot all the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's like, I need to, like, say the truth. And she's going to say the truth. And Abby's going to be like, oh, my God. And Joy Reid's up there. She's going to be mad. Joy Reid's literally going to be upset that Ana Navarro's telling the truth. So all you people that out there with your trumpets ready to blow for Joy Reid, you about to be embarrassed. All right? Let's roll.
Who is arguing that the congressional power here, the War Powers Act, actually that's the part that's unconstitutional.
Many respected constitutional experts argue that the War Powers Act is itself unconstitutional. I'm persuaded by that argument. They think it's a violation of the Article II powers of the Commander-in-Chief. I think that's right.
Well, he is the Speaker of the House, the legislative branch.
I think the way it was supposed to play out by the Founding Fathers was Congress determines if there's going to be a war, and then the President, as the Commander-in-Chief, then he or she takes over.
So you think Mike Johnson's wrong about that?
So I think that's what the Alexander Hamilton and the Founding Fathers want. Alexander Hamilton wrote in the Federalist Papers that unlike a king who could declare war on his own, the President of the United States can't do that. Congress has to do that. But the way we've got, and I do believe George W. Bush did go to Congress regarding Afghanistan, but the way they get around it, President Clinton and many others, is when President Clinton went to Haiti, is like, look, I'm not starting a war. I'm just going in to fix a couple of things. It's a little bit of self-defense. It's in the national best interest. And here, it's so minimal. It's just like we win, we bomb, that's it, we're done.
It might be right now, but I think therein lies the rub, is that when you start something, I've said this every night this week, you start dropping bombs, you don't know that it's going to end with those bombs.
And you begin with the debate of that depends on what the definition of war is, okay?
Yeah,
and so,
correct.
okay, but listen. I think that's part of the reason why Congress has such low approval ratings, because, it depends on what team is in charge and what they say. And so in our lifetime, there's been at least a dozen military actions by Democrat and Republican Congress presidents where they don't go to Congress. And if you're a Republican and there's a Republican president, then it's A-OK. If you're a Democrat and it's a Democratic president, then it's A-OK. If it's the opposite, then you come off looking inconsistent and like a hypocrite partisan. But I do.
Why is it Joy Reid's head is not moving as Ana Navarro is speaking truth? Hey guys, y'all know me, man. How many people know how critical I've been of Ana Navarro in the past? I've been a big time critic of Ana Navarro. Big time, man. But you know what? We're about truth and honesty here. Every issue, this is what people need to understand. And this is why I want people to try to, folks, this is how I look at it, and I hope you will consider this. I don't care who the person is. We look at each issue on its own merits, right? To determine if that person is right or not right, correct or incorrect, on point or full of shit, based on each incident. We don't just say a person's throw them away and say nothing they ever say is ever going to matter because I disagreed with the other thing. No, you can hold them accountable for the things they said before, but each time they speak, particularly on a different topic, you got to judge them based on that. And that's what I'm doing here with Ana Navarro. I'm not saying, ooh, I want Ana Navarro to be president of the United States. I'm not saying, ooh, give her money. Ooh, I'm not saying what's happened to the Ana Navarro show. What I'm saying is she's right this time. That's called calling balls and strikes. That's all I'm doing. Now, I'm going to replay this one more time. I want you to notice the facial expression of Joy Reid while Ana Navarro is just saying truth, historical truth. She's just laying out facts. Look at Joy Reid, the one who said, I think I lost my MSNBC job because I be fighting for Palestinians and I'm such a humanitarian. And I was so critical of Israel, which is bullshit. She wasn't that critical. She said some very minor things. She was not a crusader. She was not Breonna Boy J. She was not Breonna Joy Gray. No, she wasn't. She said some very minor things. She was not riding like that for the Gazans or the Palestinians in Gaza. She wasn't even like Candace Owens. Candace Owens was riding against Israel about what was going on in Palestine. That's not what Joy Reid was doing. Joy Reid is full of shit. But pay attention. Back on point, guys. Please pay attention to what Ana Navarro says here and pay attention to the reaction of the freedom fighter, the humanitarian, the honest speaker and truth fighter, the truth teller, Joy Reid, that tries to blackball people like Tim Black and Breonna Joy Gray because they criticized her in the past. Look at her reaction to the truth, just the truth, coming out of Ana Navarro's mouth.
Is that when you start something, I've said this every night this week, you start dropping bombs, you don't know that it's going to end with those bombs.
And you begin with the debate of that depends on what the definition of war is, okay?
You're
and so,
correct.
okay, but listen, I think that's part of the reason why Congress has such low approval ratings, because, it depends on what team is in charge and what they say. And so in our lifetime, there's been at least a dozen military actions by Democrat and Republican Congress presidents where they don't go to Congress. And if you're a Republican and there's a Republican president, then it's A-OK. If you're a Democrat and it's a Democratic president, then it's A-OK. If it's the opposite, then you come off looking inconsistent and like a hypocrite partisan. But let me also say this. I think it is insane and ridiculous that the president of the United States.
She's about to go off the rails. What I'm saying is, up to that point, not this part, She about to go Orange Man bad because I guess she looked over and she saw, hey, Joy Reid's not nodding her head with me. I guess I'm on an island alone saying the truth. Can't do that. Can't be somebody saying the truth, which is, in the last 50 years, there's been over a dozen bombings, military actions by presidents that did not go through Congress, and they've happened under Republicans and Democratic presidents. Case in point, no credible or prominent impeachment threats were made against Obama, specifically for bombing Somalia, Syria, or Afghanistan without congressional approval. And those bombing campaigns were more devastating and more far-reaching than what than what Donald Trump just did in Iran. But still, we got AOC grandstanding. We got AOC grandstanding, folks, to the high heavens about impeaching Trump when he did about this much. Once again, there were no threats of impeachment on no significant threats of impeaching Obama when he bombed Somalia, Syria, and Afghanistan without congressional approval. And those bombing campaigns were far more significant than what Trump just did in Iran. The only time that Obama was on the verge of having problems because he bombed Libya, but still he did not get impeached for it. That's the most blowback Obama got, was the Libya bombings. Oh, and killing Gaddafi in the middle of the street. And we won't go into details about how they dealt with Gaddafi in Libya, as Hillary Clinton laughed. So all I'm saying, folks, is the inconsistencies, and that's what Anna Navarro was speaking on. And once again, we should be able to call balls and strikes. We should all be mature enough to be able to say, this person's right about this, they're wrong about that. I'm going to hold them accountable for the wrong shit, but I can acknowledge when it's right. And all I'm saying is you see what kind of person Joy Reid is. She will not admit when the Democrats are wrong. And this is something she wants to give them. She wants to pretend that Trump is Hitler. That's what her show was. And that's why she got canceled. Because America's tired of that. MSNBC was tired of a show that constantly badgered, constantly called Trump Hitler and Mussolini combined in the devil. Like, maybe they wanted something different. But, here we go. Now, Anna Navarro's going to go off the rocks because she can't be that much of a truth teller. She got to pull it back in.
They don't go to Congress. And if you're a Republican and there's a Republican president, then it's A-OK. If you're a Democrat and it's a Democratic president, then it's A-OK. If it's the opposite, then you come off looking inconsistent and like a hypocrite partisan. But let me also say this. I think it is insane and ridiculous that the President of the United States, in the middle of this international incident, in the middle of this war, as he is negotiating a ceasefire, en route to a NATO meeting from Air Force One, is waging a war of words and tweets against a Democrat Congresswoman from New York who's not even in a leadership position. So, I mean, dude, how can we possibly have any confidence on this child with a Twitter feed who can't even control his impulses?
They're
but one of them is president of the United States. The other one is not.
Go ahead.
I mean, you talked about the fact that the majority of the American people are opposed to this. And I think I am among them, and I speak for them in some ways. Because I think that there used to be a saying that the United States should no longer be the world's policeman. And, Dwight David Eisenhower had his low moment, hired the Dulles brothers, not a fan. But at his high moment, at the end of his presidency, he warned about the military-industrial complex, that there would be endless wars because there was endless profit to be made. We have had military action after action after action and have not declared war against another country we've bombed since World War II. And yet the American people are becoming exhausted by this idea that at any president's whim, we are bombing this country and then we're bombing that country. We're going to fix a little thing here in Haiti. We're going to tweak a little thing there. We're going to pick governments for countries that didn't ask us to do it. We're going to remove and depose and change governments and do regime change. The American people are exhausted of this. There is so much more that we could do with the precious funds the American people, the taxpayers, give to the government. How about helping to make people's lives more affordable? How about making people's lives better? And stop with the endless wars.
Donald Trump ran on that. And he is now in a way walking away from it in
so
part.
Did Woodrow Wilson and FDR. Joy is right.
Okay. I just heard that Joy Reid, she went on an eloquent rant, one that I repeated on this show that I said myself a couple days ago about since World War II, we haven't declared war against anyone and we've been doing these airstrikes. So she must be watching the Tim Black show because I said that exact same thing. Should have been everywhere. Should have went viral, but just little old Tim Black show. It's not going to get coverage. And the people that do know I said it aren't going to amplify because it's Tim Black. They don't want him to do well. Yeah, we got to wait till Joy Reid says it. Here's my criticism of Joy Reid. You decide for yourself if it makes sense. She just went on an eloquent speech about what Americans are tired of. My question is this, Joy, when did they get tired of it? When did Americans get tired of us going on these bombing campaigns? When did they get tired of us getting into unnecessary wars? Do you think they were tired of it under Biden? When you had your show? Joy Reid, you just had a show. I would like to go back and check the archives and see back in 2021 when you had your show and you had editorial control. You said you lost your job because you were standing up for Palestinians. I wonder back in 2021 if you were critical of Biden bombing Syria without congressional approval. That's right, February 25th, 2021. Eastern Syria, near the Iraq border, the U.S. conducted airstrikes targeting facilities used by Iran-backed militia groups. There was no declaration of war. There was no congressional approval. August 2021, drone strikes in Kabul, Afghanistan. Biden once again. I wonder what you were doing August 2021, Joy. Were you doing a segment about Biden not getting congressional approval, that he was deserving of impeachment because he once again unilaterally was deciding to bomb Iran? I'm sorry, Afghanistan. February 2022, a raid in Syria targeting an ISIS leader. Biden once again. I wonder if Joy Reid did a segment calling out Joe Biden once again for not getting congressional approval before doing that raid, before putting us in a situation that could have led to World War III again. See, here we go. See, this is the thing. The only time the Democrats even talk like they have ethics at all is when they're going after Republicans, and then they'll do the exact same thing they were complaining about. And if you say something, then they call you a Trump supporter. If you say something, then they say, oh, you are Uncle Tom. And then we got dummies who repeat it because they don't know anything. They're too lazy to look up or even Google. They won't even type into a Chat GPT or a Clyde or a Grok or a Gemini questions that answer to find out things. They just assume that if it was said on CNN, it must be right. It sounds right, so it must be right. They don't even understand that a lot of what they're seeing is propaganda. Everything Joy Reid said was propaganda to get a particular type of reaction to make a political point. Because she did not hold that position just a year ago, 2 years ago. She didn't hold that position when she had her own show. And she was talking to millions of people every night. Was she saying this under Biden? No. We can keep going. I've got 4, 5, 6 different instances, 7, 8 instances of Biden in his 4 years where he dropped bombs or led a military strikes without congressional approval that meet the criteria that Joy was just talking about. He didn't get approval and she didn't say anything, and neither did most Democrats. Or Republicans, probably. But then they get on a soapbox and claim that you speaking for the American people. Why weren't you speaking for the American people back when you had a platform and it was a Democrat in office? We all know the answer why. All right.
President Eisenhower warned against the military-industrial complex. President Eisenhower also believed in the essential role of American leadership. That was why he was president, because of his leadership in World War II when America had to step in to save the world. So America has this role. You may not like it, but we have lived since 1945 in the greatest time of peace, prosperity, and wealth creation and innovation in all of human history, thanks in large part to American leadership. There are many, many frustrations that many people like myself have. We have had all kinds of interventions that have been ill-advised and downright wrong. But America does have this role. If you want to say we want to live in this democratic world that you're kind of imagining, that is a much more dangerous world.
Can I ask you a question, guys? I assume you were in favor of the Iraq War. How did we make? Okay, all right. Then we keep on going in and making the decision in our arrogance as to what governments people should have, what they do. But bottom line,
and sometimes there are worse decisions.
You are saying that you feel that there is a strong moral case for us using our leadership in the world.
This segment would not even taking place if this happened under Biden. When these same things were happening under Biden, this segment was not even going on CNN. They wouldn't even had a conversation. That's what I'm trying to tell people. That's what the people need to wake up to. And I know it's like, I know we care about the price of eggs. I know we care about gas prices. I know we care about rent control. I know we care about the cost of interest rates. And I understand all those things. I care about them too. But right now, this is what the world is talking about. We can talk about more than one thing at one time. And all I'm saying is, I want people to understand what's going on. I want people to see it for themselves. Folks, there were bombings happening under Biden, and no one talked about it. Except for independent media, who weren't hacks. I do not cover international politics to that degree. But when something hits my radar, I talk about it. If I feel that it is germane and has a point that I would like to share with people. And what I'm trying to expose is the Democratic Party hypocrisy. So when I tell people that, look, I'm not saying you never get to vote Democrat again. Vote for whoever you want. Just stop giving your vote automatically to one side of the ball. When it's obvious, they're not trying to bring the trophy home to you. Stop telling me they're lesser evil when they lie just as much as Republicans, if not more. Because they lie very much to black people, particularly. And they use black people, particularly. And I'm tired of it. This is just another example of them being straight up, full-throttled hypocrites, man. I mean, there is no way else I feel to slice this at all. I'd like to move on, man. I don't even know what's left here. I think we're almost done. Yeah, we're done. Let's get out of here. All right, guys. I got one more segment I'd like to get to. I think it's going to be another banger, man. I want to check out some people in the comment section before we go to that. Once again, this is the Tim Black Show. We do this 5 days a week. We do this on Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Fridays, 5 days a week. Live streams right here at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tune in, become a member of the Tim Black Wolfpack. All right? Join up, $5 a month. Support independent media where we call it straight. You're tired of the same old, Democrats versus Republican type talking points? Folks, we can hold everybody accountable. We can become wiser politically, more politically savvy, understand what's going on, and understand that if you're going to use your vote, use it to better you and your family. Don't use it to help a party that ain't helping you. Join the Tim Black Show. Go to jointimblack.com or join us on YouTube. $5 a month. Now, let me check out some comments and then we're going to our final story. Folks. The one and only Dana Mitchell's in the building, folks. Dana, how you doing, sister? Give it up for Dana Mitchell, man, for coming through, supporting this Tim Black Show like she always does. I really appreciate you. And also, shout out to Tito Hornbuckle. Man, Tito Hornbuckle, man. Thank you, Tito. I'm trying to figure out how can I get to some of these comments, man. Here goes Tito's comment. Uncle Tom was a real one, TB, looking out best he can like you do. So screw them all. Keep spitting the truth as you do. Good evening, people. Good day, good people. Thank you, Tito Hornbuckle, for that, dropping that knowledge on the old, the Uncle Tom. You're right. He was doing the best he could at the time, right? Just standing for his people. That's true, very true. Jesse Vashon Mercer says, I'm not always on the internet, but when I am, I watch and catch up on Tim Black TV. Laugh my black ass off. Man, thank you, Jesse. I appreciate you, fam. Man, I'm trying to do my best, man, to kick them, man, because they need to get this work, baby. You know what I'm saying? They need to get this work, man. They are full of it. So I appreciate y'all, man. I don't know what happened to my super chat from my friend, man, but it was up here. Things have a way of disappearing with this new system they got. I don't know what happened, man. But I thank you. You know I love you. You know I appreciate you. Sister, I appreciate you. Tobias Judah says, thanks for all you do, fam. Thank you, Tobias. I appreciate you, fam. Thank you for supporting this show. Yeah. Definitely. I'm trying to scroll up, just trying to get my super chat people in, man, and let them know I appreciate them. Here it is, the great Dana Mitchell. Having a good time tonight watching the Tim Black Show. Thank you, Dana. Good to see you as always. Yeah. The self-care maven. All right, guys. Last but not least, fam. Okay, so my final segment for tonight is an important segment. It really is. It's an important segment. And it's one that I think it will definitely be one of those types of segments I think that's going to go down in the books. Yeah, I saw a really, I shouldn't have looked at the comments. Yeah, I understand you want to defend the Hodge twins, man. Just to think that there could be somebody who watches the Tim Black show who would be here and also be defending the Hodge twins. It's like, man, I just don't. It's the internet, man. People, I know it's all types of people on medications and people that worship goats and, and try to make love to inanimate objects on the side of roads. So I know the internet has all types of people in it. But it takes a certain type of individual that will watch a show that's a person that stands up for the Black community and then come on that show and then defend the Hodge twins. Be like, Tim, you shouldn't talk about the Hodge twins. You shouldn't talk about their platform. Man, they be shitting on Black people every day. And at some points, I get a little tired of it. Now, I know you don't care about that. Fine, I get it. That's fine, man. I'm going to keep doing what I do, bro. I'm going to keep doing it. Thank you for not supporting this show. You're not even a member of this show. You're not. And you don't give a shit about what happens to Black Americans. I do. You should go watch the Hodge twins. Oops, sorry, you're not light-skinned enough. Goofy. My next segment, my last segment of the night is going to be great. Check this out. Well, actually, I don't know how it's going to go. I just know what it's about. You guys ready? All right. I'm going to try my best to make this segment be important, but I got to let the shots fire, man. I got to let the bullets fly, man. I cannot hold back because I got some candy watchers in the audience, man. I cannot worry about you. Put your kids to bed. That's all I'm saying. All right, let's get it.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
Have Zoraya Mandani as likely the Democratic primary winner. I think the question for me about this is, will this all just backfire?
I think this is just one of another example of a trend of the Trump administration and his proxies othering people with their language, right? You saw Vice President call Senator Padilla Jose Padilla intentionally. You saw President Trump has previously asked Asian staffers, where are you really from? Matt Walsh, another proxy for President Trump, made an implication that because a significant percentage of people in New York are foreign-born, that it's not an American city anymore. This is an administration that has vilified the word diversity. So for some reason, this administration has forgotten that the bedrock of our society is immigration and new Americans. It's not just multi-general Americans. It's everybody coming together to make the diversity of our country special. And this dog whistle and this signaling is candidly disgusting and has no place in America.
Mandani was on MSNBC tonight, and he actually responded to some of this. Listen.
Hold on a second. Hey, guy. I don't know if when J.D. Vance called Padilla Jose Padilla, I don't even know Padilla's first name. I don't even know who he is. Nobody knows who Padilla is. You know? He wasn't even elected. He was selected. When Kamala left office, the governor of California chose him to take the spot. He's like an interim senator or something. Nobody knew this guy. He didn't run like everybody else. Is it possible? People didn't know his name? Is it possible they mixed his name up? It's possible. I don't know if they did or not. But to call a Latino person Jose, I don't think that's that. I don't know. I don't think it's racist. It could be Jose, right? I don't know. He is Latino. So now to call a Latino person a Latino name, is it like Jose? Is that like calling somebody black? I don't know, Jerome or something? I don't know. Is that to be white people named Jerome? I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something here. But I didn't know who Padilla was until this thing happened. Instead, I didn't know who he was. I couldn't even pronounce his name right. Somebody was like, Tim, the Padilla, it's like the D, like they were like, you're not pronouncing it right. It's Padilla. You know what I'm saying? And like, I had to learn how to say it because I didn't know this guy. No one knew who he was. He only got known by doing some antics against the Department of Homeland Security at a press conference, interrupting a press conference for a question he couldn't wait to ask, and then he asked her afterwards anyway. And I still don't know what was so pressing that he had to interrupt the press conference with cameras running to get thrown out the event, then to complain and go on every network and say he only got thrown out because he's Latino. But he's interrupting a press conference when no questions are being asked to ask a question, dressed like a civilian. And this is why people are tired of the Democrats, man. But let's keep going, man. That's not what this segment's about. But I had to add that.
It's sad in that in one sense it's unsurprising, in another it is still deeply disappointing to see what politics has become in this moment. To have to deal with regular death threats where I'm told that someone is going to blow up my car and is going to kill me and my family and the people that I love.
I mean, frankly, it's like, okay, you disagree with his policies, Why is it that the number one line of attack against him on the right is that he's Muslim?
I don't know if that is number one attack, Abby. I mean, I think in our...
Okay, I like to say, man, that's cold-blooded, man. If threatening to blow up this man's house, blow up his car, hurt him and his family, that's some unconscionable bullshit. That is some over-the-top craziness. That is totally horrible. Like, that's totally unacceptable, man. Okay, so whatever you think about someone's politics, that's way, way, way too damn far. That's go to jail too far. You know what I'm saying? And so anybody that would co-sign that, anybody that would say that's no big deal, that person's not being honest. That's not a real person. You wouldn't want your family's life threatened. Okay, so everybody should reject that shit. Out of hand. Right? All right.
Conversation tonight, we've been focused pretty much on the policy.
I mean, you have. I'm not talking about you. Look, you're invited to this table. I'm talking about the people who, as we just showed, that is what they say. He's a Muslim. He's an immigrant. This is what makes him unacceptable.
I'm not going to sit here and condone it, Abby. I think the reality, though, is... You
condemn it?
Yeah, sure. But I think there's performative artists on both sides, in both sides of politics today. And as intolerable as some of the rhetoric is...
One of the biggest performers is sitting right at that table with you. That's why he just looked at you like you was talking about him, because he is a big-ass performer. And it's goofy, and the days of this is over. Yeah, I'm talking about Jamal Bowman.
The reality is that the last 2 assassination attempts on Donald Trump were from leftists. Assassination attempt on Brett Kavanaugh was from leftists. So we condemn...
See how he scoffed at that? So when Zoran was just complaining about people saying they're going to do things to him, the whole room was silent, like, oh my God. Trump had 2 literal attempts on his life. And what does Bowman do? He scoffed at it. Because it doesn't matter, because he ain't a Democrat. That's the point. That's the hypocrisy. That's what I'm talking about. I don't know Zoran, okay? You know what I'm saying? And I'm frankly tired of the progressives. I really am. But I would speak up for him if someone's trying to hurt him. And I would call that shit out and I would condemn it. And I can condemn somebody trying to hurt President Trump. It doesn't cost me no money. It's not against my ethics. It's not a question of my moral anything. It's just being a human being, man. I don't have to hesitate and wonder, how is it going to play with the room? Is it going to hurt me career-wise? These people are not authentic human beings. They are hacks.
The rhetoric on the right, but it seems like it's always focused on the right. and actually not focus on the actions on the left.
Yo, 2 elected officials in Minnesota were killed. They were Democrats. That wasn't an assassination attempt. They were killed.
They were killed. And
Hold on, let me finish.
There's still a question about the motive of the person who did it.
These were 2 Democratic elected officials in Minnesota who were killed. The Tree of Life synagogue shooting, killed. Christchurch, New Zealand, slaughtered. AME Church in South Carolina. On and on and on.
Catholic,
this is America.
Catholic
and the
pro-life
problem
ministries
is
bombed.
we are not dealing
Catholic
with
pro-life ministries
America's
bombed. You're
original
right.
sin and its disease of hate and racism towards black and brown people and sexism towards women and anti-LGBTQ sentiment. We are not dealing with that. Your colleagues in the Republican Party do not hold each other accountable when it comes to the racism that comes from the party on a consistent basis.
Congressman, I mean, where are you on
You
the where are
can't
the
be calm
assassination
about
attempts?
this. I'm a black man in America. The reason why heart disease...
I'm white, I can't comment on
Listen
that.
to what I'm
Is that
saying.
what
The
you're
reason
saying?
why heart disease and cancer
pretty
and
racist.
obesity
I can't
and
comment on
diabetes are bigger in the black community is because of the stress we carry from having to deal with being called the N-word directly or indirectly every day. If your colleagues would listen and try to learn and engage and grow and stop being so hateful, we could have a better country.
Damn it, where is my buzzer?
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Folks, this is what I was talking about. This is one of the reasons why I had to do this segment. I had to do this segment because of Bowman with this nonsense, folks. Look, I'm not going to say that the level of stress might not be higher for black Americans going through issues. But what do you expect people to do? Really? You can't mandate that people like people. You can't mandate that people stop using the N-word. I mean, you can, but it's like everywhere. That horse left the barn a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? You have to burn all the rap albums first in every Quentin Tarantino movie. I mean, really, what are you going to do? You know what I'm saying? You really think that's our biggest pressing issue? And this is my biggest gripe, not just with Jamal Bowman, but with Democrats as large. Folks, why aren't you focusing on the things that make life better for black Americans? Like economics. There goes something. Won't you be talking about economics? Stop talking to me about someone using the N-word. Don't talk to me about that. Talk to me about how we can get our home ownership rates up and programs to help that happen. How about small business incubators for entrepreneurs, black entrepreneurs? How about we focus on that? Let's focus on the things that will materially change our lives. Not this superficial shit. No one can mandate that people like people. No one can make the Asians and Latinos and whites and blacks and all of us like each other more and say nice things to each other when we greet each other on the subway. But what we can do is make it so our kids can have a better life, so that we can be able to retire with dignity, so that we can have business ownership and have some autonomy and some control and stability in our financial lives. Those are things that really matter. But instead of getting that, or even getting advocacy for that, we get guys like Jamal Bowman up here talking about all black people got it so bad and all people use the N-word and they say mean things. He's going to use some stupid anecdotal bullshit with his fire alarm pulling self, as if these things are important. The average black person wants economics, just like average white, average Latino, average Asian person is more concerned with the safety and the well-being and the financial stability of their families. More than they're concerned with that person over there who I don't know is thinking about me. That's what you need to be advocating for. That's why your ass is sitting out of Congress right now, because you didn't get the fundamental principles of what's really important. But all the theatrics and grandstanding, that's what they want to do. And at the end of the day, it does not help us at all. And I'm tired. He's going to keep going. He's going to keep forming this into a ball of grievances, and none of them will have any material. solutions that he's going to articulate. He's not going to come up with any real thing that can be done about it, because he's talking about feelings. He's talking about how people treat you and what people think about you. Fuck that. Let's talk about money and taxes and bonuses and salaries and job placement and training programs and STEM classes and school and education. Let's talk about those things, right, Dr. Musa Abdullah? All Things Education Official on YouTube, when we sit down and we talk about the importance of black teachers to black children, but not only black children, all children do better when a black male is their teacher. All children. It's something about us. But right now, Jamal Bowman is not teaching us anything that we need to learn, because what he's teaching us is that these warm and fuzzy feelings are most important. And they are not what's most important. What's most important are tangibles.
Jamal. But unfortunately, we're still here.
Jamal, it's coming from one
Jamal, I feel your passion, and I understand where you're coming from, sincerely. I really, really do. It happens on both sides, Jamal. You might think it happens more on your side. Jamal, when I leave the show, Jamal, you should see my Twitter feed.
All right, so he's up here. This guy is on here to be the guy complaining for black Americans. And the only black Americans that want to hear this shit are goofies. Because black fathers raising their kids, they ain't got time to care about what somebody white thinks about us. We got to worry about, can we make the mortgage? Can our kids going to be able to be in summer school programs? Is my wife going to get the medical checkup that she needs? Are my aging parents going to be okay? Is my baby going to be okay? Are we going to be able to have a daycare? Like, these are the things that people are thinking about. And they're sitting around wondering if somebody we don't know what they're thinking about us, what their opinion is. The world is full of a lot of people with a lot of different issues. Most of the time, the people are not sitting around thinking about your ass. But Jamal Bowman, that's all he's got. It's one note. I'm a black man, and here goes my grievance. I'm black, and I got to deal with this, and I got to deal with that. Nah, man, economics, baby. That's all that matters. That's the way we keep scoring this country. That's it. I know you guys have selected a socialist. Guess what? The way we keep scoring this country is money. That's how we keep score. And those who have it in this country, unfortunately, this is a system that we have. And in this system, if you ain't got no money, you ain't got no voice, and you want to live indoors. 50% of the homeless families in America are black American. That's what he should be talking about. He should talk about the 40% of black people, black Americans are 40% of the homeless rate. Even in states where we're 8 or 7% of the homeless, of the overall population. Do you understand what I'm telling you? These are the numbers that he should be talking about. He should not be talking about feelings. Making your blood pressure go up over feelings. Because somebody called him an N-word one day. This is kid shit. This is something my 16-year-old would say to me about his day. Not something a 50-year-old black man would waste time on national TV to air as a grievance. Just to get spotlight, to go, oh, the black Scotty bad. What makes it better for us is not people being quiet and no longer ever using the N-word, but us being able to start those businesses. Us being able to grow those businesses. Black American men have a lot of problems, and most of those problems, a majority of those problems will be mitigated and helped somewhat by being able to control our destinies, by having more expendable income, having more stability in our financial situations, so we can be better providers for our families and for ourselves, and be able to pursue more of enriching lives in business and in our home life. That's what we need. We do not need this. This is a disappointment. And I met Jamal Bowman, and I had him on the show. We had a good conversation. But this, friends, this is Democratic Party. What he's doing on this show tonight, this night, is Democratic talking point bullshit. That's what it is. You should be ashamed of yourself.
And they're acquitted. Rodney King, Abner Louima, Eric Gardner, Trayvon Martin, black cops in Memphis. It's not the same. And I don't want to qualify or quantify pain. That's not what I'm talking about. Everyone goes through pain. But the racism in this country is a disease that will destroy us. And it's destroying us right now as we speak. January 6th, everybody was pardoned. Everybody's pardoned. Riots in L.A., they're insurrectionists. But we pardoned everyone January 6th.
So, Congressman,
this is America.
A
lot of people in January 6th went to jail for years. Y'all realize that there were people that were sitting in jail for January 6th who didn't even attend the riots, who didn't even attend to go to the Capitol? Do you realize that? Like, this guy, does he know anything at all? Do you know anything, Jamal? And why are you bringing that up? Oh, because Zoran is having a hard day. Meanwhile, he just won an election. Which one is it? Like, you want to say it's all racist and it's horrific, it's terrible. Some crazy cracker said this thing. He just won an election against white guys and black guys and white women. He just did that. Right? Which one is it going to be? Yes, of course, racism is a problem. But don't make it an outsized problem when we could be talking about economics and financial stability and upward mobility. That's what we need to be talking about. Not this shit.
Evacuated January 6th. That was not a racist incident. I don't know why you're making that connection.
My man was walking through the Capitol with a Confederate flag.
I was evacuated, Congressman.
What does the Confederate flag represent?
Come on, Congressman.
I'm asking you a question.
This was about a riot in the Capitol.
When you erect a wooden cross in American history, what does that mean? Google black lynchings in the South and watch the images that come up.
Man, they weren't there trying to kill no black people at the Capitol. They were there protesting against Trump losing the election. They thought the election was stolen. We know that's what it was about. It was not about trying to bring slavery back. This guy's a joke. Man, I hope he does not get back into politics. He's a fucking joke. I'm embarrassed to know him. This is pathetic. This right here should not take place. This is stupid. This makes black people look ignorant. That's what this is. That's what this is, man. Jamal Bowman, you are not representing. You're not putting down. You are not showing up for black people right now. This is horrific. The only those lames that would big you up on this, they don't know what time it is, man. This is a horrible display. It's lazy. Lazy talking points. So now the January 6th, which included black Americans, they were there. It's about slavery. It was about lynching. That's not what it was about. They were wrong. What they did was wrong, but that's not what they were there doing.
With black people hanging from trees and white people looking and eating sandwiches. This is America. We got to deal with it or not. Why are you in denial?
Stop it. I'm not saying.
Let me let Mark respond.
Actually fought among itself to free slaves.
So, I mean, but what are you suggesting, Mark? I mean, I think, listen, I don't think it's helpful to be in a sort of pain Olympics around this stuff, right? However.
But meanwhile, you let them do the shit, right? Because it's not going to get down to the point of the issue of what's really important, which is money, which is opportunity, which is growth, which are the things that are going to help black families on the real. See, it's all a distraction, folks. That's what I want you to see. It's a distraction when you talk about these things, because these are not the things that are going to really determine the outcome of your life, right? Where you live, your zip code, the area that you live in, right? We need to correct a lot of these environments. But until we can do that, people need to be able to live places that are safe, right? One way we do that is economically. Man, I'm convinced, man, we ain't gonna be able to save everybody. We're just not. We ain't gonna save anybody if all we doing is sitting around talking about slavery and about shit like this when we should be talking about economics. I'm fine to bring up issues of race when they present themselves. But Zoran, a guy who just won an election as a Muslim, is the worst time, I feel, to talk about this. He ain't black, first of all, and somehow that's what's coming out of Bowman's mouth. What does black got to do with Zoran? He's Muslim and he's an Indian. Why are you even talking about black struggle and lynchings of black people? What's Zoran got to do with black people? Nothing. He ain't even black. What are you even talking about? But see, Bowman has so little to offer to a conversation. The only thing he can talk about is the plight of black people. So let me use my currency of being black, because I can throw that out there and make some points about black people having a struggle. And he's from New York. He should be talking about shit that's going on with New Yorkers. He should be talking about the things that New Yorkers are concerned about. And they're not all concerned. I bet you. I'm betting, and I'm not from New York either. But Bowman is, and I got a feeling that people in New York are more concerned with black Americans in New York are more concerned with the things I'm talking about than the things he's talking about.
I think it is both true that there is a lot of racist violence in this country today, political violence in this country today. The political violence does sometimes target people on the left, sometimes it targets people on the right. But I mean, I don't think it's helpful to sit here and be like, well, it's more on the left, because I actually don't even think that that's true. I mean, I think we've seen plenty of examples of political violence coming from the right, and I think acknowledging that is part of what the conversation's about.
I did not acknowledge that. I've condemned it as well. My point is that it seems like we can constantly focus on the rhetoric on the right when there have been significant actions of assassination attempts against Republican
I mean, I heard you say that, but I think his point was, you're saying that it's about rhetoric on the right. He is saying that there has actually been violence on the right, and you cannot minimize it to just rhetoric when we've seen the violence. That's the point that he's trying to make.
I think we need to hold elected officials and people in public office to a different standard, right? They have a bigger bully pulpit. And what we see, like, for example, let's talk about what's happening with ICE right now. All over the country, a lot of it in LA. You know, there's hundreds of thousands, over 1 million white people who've overstayed their visa and are here undocumented. But I don't see ICE going to where the Russians are in North Miami Beach. I see them going to the Home Depots. I see them going to the farms. I see them going to the places where hardworking Latino, brown immigrants are that they can easily spot. I see them stopping Latino U.S. citizens because they think they might be undocumented. I see them stopping and detaining Latino legal permanent residents because they think that they might be undocumented. I see them beating the head of the father of 3 U.S. Marines on the ground repeatedly as they detain him, a Latino man. And so that is racism. What's happening right now by the administration is racial profiling against the Latino community. We are being hunted down in the streets.
A huge number of ICE officers are Latino. You know that.
I know that.
The assassination attempts.
It's incredibly painful.
The assassination attempts on Donald Trump were deplorable, and the people who did it should face justice. No one asked what religion they were and tried to blame the entire people who belong to that faith on what that person did. There are 2 billion Muslims in this world. The notion that we're stereotyping, and by the way, it wasn't just a new 9/11. Charlie Kirk tried to tie him to 9/11. Right? And it just brings up as an Arab American, it brings up so much feelings of otherness and the pain that people felt after the Islamophobic attacks that continue to this day, that so many minority groups are feeling. It just continues to trigger people with all of the kind of language that we're hearing from this administration. And it just isn't stopping. And it's the role of President Trump to lower the temperature. And instead, he just keeps hiking.
Mandani is an immigrant. And the whole Stephen Miller of it all, I mean, he is essentially saying that because a Muslim immigrant can win an election in this country, that is a sign of how broken the country is.
That's wrong because, I mean, that's just wrong. And I say that with all heart because Muslims, Jewish, Catholic, I mean, we can go on, voted for Mandani yesterday. A lot across the board voted for him. So this notion that if you're not Muslim, you can't be voting for.
And we're all slaves or immigrants.
Come on, that's
former
not.
slave.
But Abby, I personally feel like it starts at the bottom, Abby. I really do. I mean, I've been to a couple T-ball games. Two parents argue over call it a T-ball game. And it just, they want to fight. And it seems like everybody wants to fight. And that's a challenge. And I don't know. I don't know. If it's just Trump's rhetoric.
Well, I don't want to fight. I just want to chill. I just want to not. I was walking down the street the other day. Some white dude, bald head. He looked me, called me a piece of shit to my face.
I wonder why he did that, Jamal. Is it because of your heated rhetoric, man? I seen you when things were not looking good for your campaign. You was talking mad shit. You was going ballistic at your rallies. I'm just saying, man. You was giving that heat. Not saying he was right, whatever he called you. I already know what he called you because I saw you talk about this in an earlier clip. I know what he called you.
Said, I'm going to get what's coming to me. Why I got to deal with that, dog? In Yonkers, New York.
Well, can I tell you something?
I'm not making that up.
Stephen Miller needs to remember that
he said, you're going to get what's coming to you. Ooh.
the current First Lady of the United States is also an immigrant.
I mean, Donald
Trump's
grandparents were immigrants. I mean, look, listen. I mean, I don't know who said it, but we're all immigrants, right?
So, I'm not an immigrant. I'm a Black American, not an immigrant. Immigrants choose to be here. Immigrants voyage here on their own volition to be a part of this for economic expansion, economic growth, to take advantage of our system to better their lives. That's not what Black Americans, that's not how we got here. So that's some bullshit. Maybe it's that for Abby, because I don't know where Abby's parents are from or when they came to America and under what circumstances. But I'm saying for Black Americans, that's not a true statement.
What's really sad is
that's different.
Immigration reform is really easy to fix. Anna was involved in this early on. It's really easy to fix. Both parties don't want to do it. They don't want to do it. They use it as a football, and look what happens. It really is. Give them a temporary worker. I can go to Starbucks right now and get my credit card approved in 15 seconds. Why can't a worker have a card that says they're legally here to work and check it out in 15 seconds?
All right. Look, guys. So look. This was a off the rails conversation in a lot of ways, man. And it's a lot of stuff gets brought up. It's just throw a bunch of stuff against the wall and see how much you can piss off your viewers and get them excited and get them all caught up in the algorithm. But I am disappointed big time in Jamal Bowman, man. I mean, folks, when we get an opportunity to have a real conversation about things, we need to focus on what's most important to Black Americans. And unfettered immigration is not going to help Black Americans. Unfettered immigration does not help Black Americans. That helps the GDP of the country, maybe. Maybe it helps corporations. Ain't no maybe about it. It does help corporations. That's why they do it. You think they do it because it helps Black Americans? Is that what you think? You think that's how America makes decisions? So we know it's not being done to help us, right? Is it really crazy to say it's being done to help corporations? Well, God damn it. Well, let's just say what it is. And if you're sitting on a panel on CNN, maybe that'd be a thing to mention when the subject comes up. But you can't do that. You're not elected to any office, Jamal Bowman. Why you can't say something real instead of sitting there and talking about crucifix and January 6th being carried and how that's tied to lynching Black people? Doesn't make any damn sense. Or some anecdotal story, some white guy saying you're going to get what's coming to you in Yonkers, as if that has anything to do with the betterment of Black Americans. Black fathers and mothers raising their daughters and their sons. Missed opportunity. Look, guys, we already been through this bullshit with Kamala Harris. On one hand, everybody says how bad America off is, how horrible America is, and all these racial problems we got. Meanwhile, you end up with an Indian, Asian vice president and a woman. She was there doing the job for 4 years. Most of what she did, I don't know what she did, but she did. I guess she did something. But somehow she held that position. That ticket won. That ticket won the White House. Did it not? Did she not? Did it not win the White House? It did. So, I mean, I know what we're saying. I get it. And of course, I'm a person that talks about race. I talk about these issues. But there's a time and a place for everything. And sometimes we got to focus on the economics. And it should not even be brought up when we're talking about a Muslim Indian. What the hell does that got to do with Black America? That gets tired of time and time again of Democrats using Black pain and suffering in order to make points for other groups. They ain't got nothing to do with Black America. It's so out of pocket. It's so off code. It's so out of line. We need to shut that shit down because it's unhelpful. Let's talk about the homeless rate of Black Americans. If you're going to advocate, you're going to talk about Black pain, talk about making things better for Black people in the same breath. Not just exploiting our pain for what end? To do what? To say Republicans are bad? How does it help Black people doing that? I don't know what happened here, man. I expect more out of Abby and more out of Jamal Bowman. I'm totally disappointed. You know what? I have learned now not to expect anything substantive out of Jamal Bowman. It's all theatrics and bullshit. I should have known that when your big claim to fame was Hip Hop Day in New York. All right, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Remember, this is the Tim Black Show. We do this 5 days a week, Sundays, Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, right here on the Tim Black Show. Go to Tim Black. Join TimBlack.com. Become a member of the Tim Black Wolf Pack. Become a VIP. Support independent media because we call it straight. We don't need symbolism. We need solutions. This is your home of solutions. All right, guys, let's go to the comment section. My people, my people, my people. Man, I want to thank y'all for hanging in there with me, man. Thank you, Black Mama, for being here, for hanging in there with me. We're about to call it a night. Zen Soul for being, thank you for being here. Strong Flower, thank you. Will, hey, what's up, fam? How you doing? Tito Hornbuckle, thank you once again. That's right. Mass immigration hurts Black Americans. It really does. And if you can't say it with your chest, don't say nothing. Dr. Claude Anderson warned us about this. He did always. Yes, he did. Vicky Lamb says, I'm not an immigrant. Mahal Yal Natural says, that's right, she is a tether. Honestly Talking came through with a super sticker. Thank you always. Honestly Talking, I appreciate you. Well, that's it, guys, man. They had a full night tonight, man. We've been busy. Wow, we'll be back tomorrow to finish out the week strong, fam. So be here for that. I look forward to seeing you here tomorrow at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, remember, don't let anybody take your cornbread. Not Jamal Bowman, not the Democrats, not Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, none of them. Bernie Sanders, AOC, none of them. Keep your cornbread. Oh, and don't give it to Trump either. And Ted Cruz and Vivek Ramaswamy. Don't give them your cornbread. Keep your cornbread. How about that? Keep your cornbread. I'm not here to make you vote Republican. I want you to become an independent thinker and voter and make a decision based on what's best for your family. Every time, make them earn your vote and earn your dollars of support to those campaigns and earn your support in the streets or any way you want to contribute. But don't just give it willy-nilly because they gaslight you on a segment on CNN. All right, with that, I like to say it all. That says it all, man. Look, as always, I like to end my shows with a shout out to my grandbabies. Where are my ladies, Johnson? Where are my ladies? Oh, there they go. See y'all next time, Wolfpack. Peace.